Hello, friend. Welcome back. If you are new here, I am beyond grateful that my information has bumped into you. If you're returning, thank you very much for being patient with my inconsistent video creation. It's spring, it's summer, it's planting. I'm harvesting some dandelions and nettle to dehydrate and put into my pantry, so life has been fun and full. Today's conversation is going to be around today's transit, as well as dropping you back into that cross of planning and the cross of the sleeping phoenix, because I believe that it is so important for us to see both aspects here. So first, let me introduce myself. My name is Leanne Wolf. I am a human design and BG5 business professional. I am a coach. I'm a teacher. I am a cattle rancher. I am a lover of nature. And first and foremost, I am fulfilling my design by being a contagion for the human design system. What I love is that I get to coach people all over the world to recognize their patterns, see how the pain and the pleasure have allowed them to come to profound experiences so that their direction can be fulfilled. And, being that inspiration through the human design system, that's how I get to show up. All right, let's drop into the information. So today, what I want to chat to you about first is this, again, I'm bringing you back to the larger umbrella. The larger umbrella is this global orchestrated directory. And why do I keep bringing you back here? Because the cross of planning doesn't want to let go of us. What I want you to really grasp is how deeply entrenched this is in our world. Since 1615, we have had this cross of planning, which is all about tribal energy. Now, what is tribe? Tribe is bloodline. So any of the tribal circuitry, 54, 32, 44, 26, 19, 49, 59, 6, 27, 50, and then up to the 21, 45, that is all tribal energy. That is all bloodline leadership. It wants only bloodline. And it wants, this cross of planning at this time in our history has had us identify with bloodline leadership, using our own continuity for bloodline leadership, our own growth through bloodline leadership, focusing on bloodline leadership, naming and coming to details about bloodline leadership. And then here we have this one little tiny individual energy that's poking out here. And what is that? That's all about inner truth. Wow. So one aspect of individuality, and it's been inner truth. So for 400 years, while we are entrenched in this tribal energy, there's still this crack in the foundation of, hey, hold on a minute. Where is my individuality in all of this? And being able to use this time to teach us where our individuality is, witnessing our own inner truth in amongst this, okay? The other aspect I want to show you is the education piece for humans on this planet at this time. The 45 is the educator. That's tribal. What is the tribe educating you on? What have you been educated on so far? The 50 is our intelligence. This sits also in tribal energy. So the 50 and this intelligence piece and the 45 and the education piece, what has the tribe been educating you on? Your level of education indicates your level of intelligence. Now, let me just, play around with this a little bit. Capitalism is from the 54-32, 44-26. Socialism, 1949, 37-40. What is it feeding? It's feeding the monarchy. 21-45 is the monarchy. So this whole 400-year cycle has been about what are we educating our people on? For sure about the material plane, because the tribe is all about the material plane. What are we educating them on bargains? Ceremony, contracts, procreation. Because that's all the tribe cares about. It cares about materialism. And the whole point of this is to move all of that energy up to the 45th gate. What are we educating? So that the head of state, the monarchy, can eat, can flourish. So why am I starting here? I want you to understand that bloodline leadership is breaking down. However, the psychological warfare that's happening on this planet is absolutely dividing us. And that division is with the word unity. I know it sounds completely dichotomous. So all the propaganda, all the education. So I also want you to recognize the 16th gate here, okay? The 16th gate, the 6th line of the 16th gate. So the first line that we're in right now is delusion. The 6th line, gullibility. What are you being fed propaganda-wise? Because gullibility is one of the targets that they can use. Now, I want you to also recognize something else. Because there is, the 9, the 16, and the 62, there's a lot of collective logical energy here. There's no collective, there's one collective abstract. Sorry about that. One individuality, and there are 3 tribal energies. The 58, 18, 48, 16. That's the whole logical path, okay? That's where theory is created and move forward. Now, the 58 begins with this love of life. And then we move up to the 18, and the 18 is the whole foundation of it. Human rights. So the 18 will challenge authority on the basis of human rights and this love of life. Because the whole point of this energy, let's move us vitally up into the future so that humans can use their talent and come to a place of beauty. Okay? So here we have the 58, the 18, the 48. That 48 is this depth. So let's allow for the depth of those that can move us vitally into the future. To do that, to bring us into the future. But what are we identifying with right now? As a global orchestrated directory, we are just identifying with the tribal aspect. So human rights, whether or not they are built right into this logic or not, human rights have been turned over to the tribe, to this bloodline leadership. And the bloodline leadership, it doesn't want anybody else in it but its bloodlines. Because that's how the monarchy gets fed. So capitalism and socialism is how the monarchy absolutely stays in power. So I want you to just drop into that. I want you to drop into, what are you being educated on? Where's your level of intelligence based off of the education? And I'm not calling you stupid. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying, drop into that piece. Because it is important for us to begin to recognize. Now, I also said unity. And using these words of unity. Unity is creating conformity. Because we're not all unified. What we are is we have this group unified with this. We have this group unified with that. We have this group unified with this. That's not unity. And then the conformity of each one of those pieces with this tribal energy that's overarching. So now what I want to show you is the transit field so that you can get a deeper look at how this all works for today's transits. Okay, here we are, June 4th, 2020. Today's transits, again, all of 2020 is probably the most powerful energy that we're going to experience. And powerful in two ways. It can be used against us psychologically, or it can be there to absolutely move us into our individuality. Again, this cross of the sleeping phoenix is absolutely asking us at this moment, all of this stuff that's happening, the cross of the sleeping phoenix is coming in, and what it is saying to us is that it's all about our individuality, and it's all about being able to drop into the beauty and perfection of our own power, our own intuition, our own spirit, and to allow for the initiation of that to take place. And today's transit is super powerful. So, we have the overarching cross of planning. Now today's transit is saying, let's really recognize our own awareness. What is our own knowing in all of this? What is our own truth in all of this? And it is also, bringing us an empowerment piece. Because individuality is about empowerment. So the empowerment of our own awareness in today's world, our, ability to drop into the flow and to be truthful to our own convictions. Okay, so those are some overarching energies. But I want you to see something here. So the 15, this gate of modesty. The 15 is all about diversity, but it's about diversity of humanity. The transits have been asking us since March 23rd, and that is going to be until August 5th. Can we accept through the 60th gate, that has also been here and will continue to be here? The 60th gate is saying, there's a limitation. Every human being has a limitation. Now, can we accept the diversity of humanity and the diversity of the 8 billion different flow representations? Can we accept it? Can we be aware of it to begin with? And can we accept it? And then can we hold on to our own convictions, walk through this with our own personal power, and walk through this with the correction or correctness of our own behavior? Can we, as a collective, concentrate on our own awareness? Can we, as a collective, concentrate on the correct flow of our individuality so that the correctness of everybody's flow then brings humanity into a vital future representation? Because humanity is progressing. We are either progressing or we are regressing. And from what I can see happening on our planet at this moment, the bloodline leadership is going to, Okay, you guys, it is going to pull out all the stops. It does not want to let go of having control, because the monarchy is going to break down if that happens. And again, the 3740, it is the stomach and the mouth. If they're not being fed, their stomachs are empty. And I'm meaning fed in numerous different ways, okay? So the transits are saying to us and asking us in a very, very deep way, can we accept the diversity of humanity and the diversity of flow? Can we be in our own awareness? And can we absolutely concentrate on the correct behavior of ourselves so that we can absolutely help humanity going forward? Do we have enough identity in our own self to doubt the pattern of the collective and stand in our own identity? Use our own personal power, our own fixed rhythm that's inside of us to concentrate and accept the diversity. Can we be aware of the progression? Now again, what I want you to see here is that unity is still a divisive word. It's dividing us. We cannot be unified. Unity is conformity. What human design and what humanity needs is the acceptance of diversity. The acceptance of the 8 billion different paths back to source. Because if you're unified over here and you're unified over here, there is still a division happening. So acceptance allows us to what? Progress. And through the grace of God, through this 22nd gate that has been sitting here, through the grace of God that has been here since January 29th and will continue to be here until May 9th of 2021. The 2212 is the only individual channel that allows us to take our individuality and be open enough to social interactions or not. This is kind of our way into the collective. So through the grace of God that has been here, supporting and empowering and sharing all the wisdom, but empowering us into our own spirituality, transcendence, into our own correct view of the illusion. But the distortion field has been profound. The distortion field is that psychological warfare, and the only way that the cross of planning feels secure enough is by keeping us fully distracted from really how uneducated we are, and that uneducation has provided us with our level of intelligence. And I'm not perfect, and I'm not the most highly educated being on the planet. However, it is very apparent right now on this planet that our intellectual level is quite low. It's quite low. Pitting a human against another human makes absolutely no sense at all. But in order for the monarchy to continue to be fed, that's what has to happen. So if you would really like to understand how you can fit into this next phase, this cross of the sleeping phoenix, we have 6.5 years to get there. I've created this beautiful program called the Self-Mastery Movement. And with that, your level of education is going to be very high, and your level of testing, your level of application is completely up to you, but with your level of education that I provide there should be no doubt in your mind the beauty of your frequency and how you fit into this whole entire thing. Now, again, we have 6.5 years to get as many of the awake people on this planet to drop into their frequency. So if you would love to be a part of the self-mastery movement, down below is the application. And I would love to have tons of kind, awake, aware people in that program so that the reverberation of our energy can permeate. And by keeping our frequencies at a very, very high vibratory energy, we are making ripples. And the cross of planning cannot hold us back from the perfection of our own awareness, from our own flow. So if you'd like to be a part of it, I would love to have you there. If not, I'm also here on the channels, on the platforms, providing free information when I respond, when I move to do so. So, in the meantime, please use your God code and move forward. Pay attention to your own awareness. Pay attention to your own flow. Pay attention to diversity. Be very cognizant of unification and diversity. Divisiveness or acceptance. And in the meantime, until next time, just absolutely drop into the acceptance of yourself. Thank you.